Good afternoon. This is New Year's Day,
Yes.
January 1st, 1918. I'm at the Redwoods, a retirement community in Mill Valley, with the great pleasure of talking to my host here, Nora Weckler, who is 102, about to turn 103, yes, has been living here 9 years.
I came in 1993.
1993, 17,
Maybe it's 10 years.
24 years. 24 years.
24 years.
1993.
1993, and this is 2002.
2018.
No.
Yeah, you've been here quite a while.
I thought it's 2002.
No, I wish it were.
I haven't been here that long.
I guess so.
Oh.
Yes.
2018? I don't look at the paper.
Yeah, it's 2018.
That's right. Gosh, I didn't know. Something's wrong with my mathematics.
Let that all be the only thing. Let that be the only thing. But you like it here. You said
Yeah,
so.
I've been here 9 or 10 years, but not all that time.
Yeah. Maybe it was 2000
I'll have to talk to my son about when I came.
Okay.
Because he was the one that got me up here.
Because you were living in Los Angeles, right?
Right.
You were teaching at Cal State Northridge?
Yes.
Yeah.
You got that one right.
That one I remember. For a long time were you there?
Many years, yeah. I founded the department there. They opened up Northridge.
Wow. From the very beginning of Northridge?
Yeah. Well, the day we started, there was an earthquake. And there was one building only. And
started with a bang?
We couldn't use it. The earthquake seemed very local. It was just where our university was.
Yes. What year was that? I think I read about that earthquake.
Oh, I can't remember now, but I'll have to think of when I came.
Right. What were you doing before?
35. And let's see, I'm 90, I'm 102. Oh, I must have been 40 something.
So that was it was early for you to be a psychologist. Not many women were psychologists there, right?
I never called myself a psychologist.
Where did you get your training? What was it in?
The University of Toronto, Canada.
Oh, how nice. How cold.
Yeah, well, that's where I lived. My parents, I come from the University of Toronto.
I didn't know that.
And we had to choose our major in high school.
Wow.
We couldn't go to college without saying what we wanted to study or do.
Wow.
So I picked psychology.
Yeah.
Is what I wanted to major in.
You were already interested.
Yeah.
In it.
Somewhat, but I didn't know really what I was talking about.
What got you interested in psychology?
I can't tell you, but it must have been something that I read that had to do with the inner thoughts and feelings of people.
Yeah.
So I think I wanted to be a mathematician, but you had to take physics to be a math at the university where I went.
Yeah.
And I was not the least bit interested in physics. So I chose psychology.
Funny choice between those two things. So when you were doing psychology, who were you reading at that time?
Who was I reading?
It was Freud? Was it Skinner? Was it
Was I what?
Freud, Skinner? Who were you reading? What theorists? What
Oh,
books?
I don't know.
What books in psychology
I was
that you
just
started?
doing it by reading their books and things, not thinking of having to meet them or anything like that.
Did any?
I mean, I did finally meet them,
Oh.
but that's not what led me to do it. It was what I was reading.
Oh, I know that, but I meant, did anything interest you in particular? Did anything inspire you that you were reading?
Not that I was aware of. I just had to find a major. And in high school, I didn't know much, but I thought, oh, this sounds interesting. So that's why I picked it. And it was a great pick because I met the psychologists there
In Toronto.
in the university.
Who did you meet?
Bill Line, his name was.
I don't know that name.
And he was a friend of mine all through the university.
Mm-hmm.
He came from England,
Mm-hmm.
and we had a chance to talk together. And, I think he was kind of interested in me psychologically.
Oh,
But
psychologically.
I didn't pay any attention to, because he wanted to come home and sit and talk in our home,
Uh-huh.
my parents' home.
Oh, your parents' home. This is all in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh, I was only 18.
Oh.
Finished high school and started university, and you had to choose a major in high school, so I chose psychology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you were living at home. But you said you don't want to call yourself a psychologist.
You know, I was a professor, and I mean, 'cause I didn't go out and practice
Ah.
being a psychologist. I talked about the psychologists in the history of psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to Aristotle and,
That's
and
right.
not a lot of other people.
That's right.
Bring us up to date.
That's right.
But that was more my emphasis. And I ended up finally doing some little psychology, but it wasn't a part of my endeavors for very much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I did talk about the history of psychology to my students.
Mm-hmm. 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 Do you remember who you taught them?
Who
Yeah.
they
Which-
were?
Which psychologists you taught? Did you teach Pavlov, the Russians? Did you teach experimental psychology?
I don't know whom I picked, but it was all right going way back in history,
Yeah.
starting with Aristotle, as I think now, but I don't remember. But going through other people that could be had psychological interests. I can't remember them now.
Were you interested in philosophy?
A lot of them were philosophers, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Do you remember any of the German philosophers?
Like whom?
Husserl, Heidegger?
Not particularly.
Not particularly. How about
I knew Freud, Adler, and Jung, and
Yeah.
they're different positions.
Did you know Abraham Maslow?
I knew of
Of him.
very much so. Yeah.
Did you teach him?
No, oh, maybe I did.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he was there. Yeah. Moreno, did you ever hear?
Jacob Moreno,
Yeah.
psychodrama.
Yeah, I followed him
Oh, good.
in I had to have something for my PhD that they would recognize it. So I followed Moreno's idea, worked with a class of children who were in third grade, I think. I can't remember now the issues, but I got involved with them, and but we had a good time.
Did you do psychodrama with these children?
I don't think so. I can't remember the details. But anyway, when the time came, the professors asked me all kinds of questions about what I did. You had to do something like that, and I told them, and they were quite happy with what I had done.
This was your PhD.
Yeah.
You were interested, Moreno. Were you interested in any other arts?
Any art?
Any art. You had drama. Were you interested in music or art as a basis of psychology?
No, because I wasn't. I was very poor in those things. I didn't. And nobody ever told me I should know something about them, so I didn't.
Well, not everybody's interested in that. I am.
You are.
Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I envy people who have broader interest, but.
Was yours more in mathematics?
Well, I was interested, but I didn't follow up on it because I wasn't interested in physics. So.
Yeah.
But I've always been interested in, and I was good at math in high school.
So was I, but I lost it. Yeah.
But anyway, I chose psychology as my major when I started college. As I told you, we had to plan in high school, so when we go to university, we would be able to say, I'm going to go to the psychology department.
But you went from Toronto to California because of the job? Because of that job?
After I got married at the end of my PhD. But I got my PhD in Toronto.
Who did you marry, Nora? David's father. David's father.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that funny? Bob. Oh, dear.
Was Wexler your married name or your family name?
My married name.
So he was Bob Wexler, Robert Wexler.
David Wexler.
Weckler.
Yeah. That's my son.
Yeah.
And his is what?
David.
David? I don't think his he had another name. Bob, I thought. Bob Weckler. No, it doesn't sound right. Have to ask David what his father was.
All right.
It's crazy. It's a long time.
What was your family name?
Loeb. My father came from Germany.
Loeb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was he in the war? Did he come after the war? Your father? World War II?
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't in the war.
No. No, he married my mother in 1913, I think.
Wow, they were here a long time.
Yeah.
In Toronto. So nobody was in the Holocaust? Your family was not in that?
No.
Lucky.
No, they got married, and my brother was born in 1911, I think, and I was born in 1913.
When you were born, do you remember, were there cars? Was there TV? What do you remember?
Of what? At what time?
Oh, when you were very young. Did you have a car, for example, in the family?
Oh, yeah. And I had a car when I married,
Yes.
so I drove it down to New York, no, Washington, D.C.,
Oh.
where my future husband was working.
Uh-huh. What was his work?
Well, he was working in an agency. What was it called? Anyway, it was very dynamic kind of research work he was doing
I would think so.
in that area.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember his focus. Anthropology.
Oh, how nice.
And somehow we moved to Chicago
Mm.
after a year or so in Washington, D.C.
Mm.
And he again was studying the same thing, and I was able to teach psychology there
What, in this Washington, D.C.?
because I had my PhD in
Mhm.
psychology.
Mm-hmm.
And
Do you remember where you taught?
the details,
Mm-hmm.
not in the least. I'm sure it taught what I have always emphasized is the inner dynamics of people.
Good, good, good.
Which is what it's all about.
We had a little conversation before about humanistic psychology.
Yeah, I know.
Why do people tell me you're a humanistic psychologist? You say you're not.
Well, I wouldn't call myself that. I don't know what a humanistic psychologist is. I was a psychologist who studied people,
Yeah.
but I don't know, studied human beings.
I guess humanistic psychologist would be the orientation.
Oh,
So you wouldn't be Freudian,
no,
and you wouldn't be Pavlov or Skinner,
no.
right? So you would be more about human potential,
Like maybe so.
maybe, and interested in things like human growth throughout the lifespan,
Yeah, that's very good.
that humans can keep developing, and we can focus on free will, and that we have responsibility for our lives.
And I am particularly interested in people's inner life and how do they reveal it and how do they feel about what their inner life is like.
Do you think that their inner life is formed by their childhood mostly, or that they continue to grow through the rest of their lives?
Well, I think it varies from one person to another.
Fair
I don't
enough.
think can make any general statement, but I think everybody changes a bit. But they may still emphasize. Yeah, I know adults have been still tied to their parents.
Yeah, that must be a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
uh,
But you're very independent, right?
well, my parents lived in Canada, and I married an American, and so I didn't have much contact with them after that.
Wow. I guess now you've got a cell phone, right? You have a cell phone.
No, I just got that old-fashioned phone.
Oh, that's the number I called.
That's the number you call.
Okay, so you don't use modern gadgets to keep up.
No, I'm too old.
Do you use email?
No.
No.
Nothing like that.
I emailed your son. Yeah.
I use the phone.
Yeah, good.
He lives here, and Mill Valley, so
Yes. What interests you today, or in psychology? Anything especially interesting to you about psychology today?
I can't think of anything specific.
Do you get any of the journals still? Do you still get any of the journals or reading any books?
No, I'm through with that.
Ah.
I'm into playing games. I mean it.
Good. Good.
I like the challenge of games.
Uh-huh. What games do you like?
Oh, I play bridge
You
and
do?
poker,
Oh, you do.
and that's what. And I have a thing here that I can play games on
Uh-huh.
when I go to bed,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
and I enjoy playing games, any kind of game. Intellectual games, I should say.
Yeah, I need to learn how to play. My grandson plays chess.
Really?
Yeah, he's 10
I
years
used
old.
to play
so.
chess, but I hadn't had a chess person, and for so long I've forgotten how to play it.
Uh-huh.
But I did play it at one time.
Me too.
I had a friend, a man who was liked playing chess.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got together with him,
Mm-hmm.
he was married. There was no sexual aspect to that. But we'd get together with my husband and him, and occasionally we'd play chess.
Wow.
But since then I haven't played, and I don't remember how.
I know. It's very complicated. Do you remember, Nora, any of the your colleagues? You said Bill Lyman?
Bill Line.
Line. So
L-I-N-E.
Nora Lyman was at Sonoma State. Did you
Who?
know her? Norma Lyman. Does that name ring a bell?
No.
Who else did you remember from those days teaching?
Well, I remember they're all in Canada, though.
Oh,
That's where I went to university.
do you remember anybody from Cal State Northridge?
Oh, I should. Yes, Helen Geet.
Is it Geet?
Geet, G-I-E-D-T,
Gied?
Geet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still in touch with her,
No kidding.
you know.
I'll have to look her up. What's her interest? What's she
But,
interested
oh, I hired her.
in? Oh.
I started the department,
And you were chair, weren't you, of the
Yeah.
department?
but right at the beginning, I had no desire to stick with it. And use my power,
That's
not
right.
my interest.
Administrative interest
Yeah.
details, yeah. You were not involved in APA then, were you? American Psychological Association. You weren't involved. Huh?
Oh, I was involved with the Western Psychological,
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
WPA,
Yeah.
and I was quite active in that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I organized a trip on a boat, a ship going all the way up
Fun.
to Alaska,
Wow.
where we had psychology classes,
What a great idea.
and it was a lot of fun and
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah.
We did that and then had a good time on the ship.
Absolutely.
So I organized that through the Western Psychological Association.
I've been active in APA and the San Francisco Psychological,
Oh, really?
but not so much Western.
Not so much what?
Western Psychological.
Oh.
I wasn't so involved. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this just happened to be an organization, WPA, Western
WPA. Yeah.
Psychological Association. And we took this trip and studied psychology on the way up
Uh-huh.
and back again.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And it was a lot of fun and interest.
How, do you remember when you retired? How old were you?
90 something.
Wow. It's pretty recent, actually.
Yeah,
Wowee.
I was, I think, a full employee till I was 93. The federal government passed a law um, way back when, uh, when I was close to 70, and professors had to
Retire.
quit when they were 70. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I know that that's still going. And now they call it a golden handshake.
Really?
They give you a good deal. You can't resist, so you retire earlier. So they
Well,
can
anyway.
hire young people and pay them less.
What?
So they can hire young people and pay them less money.
Yeah, that's what the whole idea was. There wasn't enough room for new people.
Right.
And so well, I worked half-time.
Did you raise your children while you were working?
Did I?
Raise your children while you were working?
Well, only after they went to school and were busy. And I'd get home before they were getting home.
Yeah.
And one day I missed. And we just acquired, I don't know, it was on the radio, whether some new equipment where they had vision. And I came in the door, and my the son had a baseball bat, and his sister, what'd she have? Something else. They were about to hit each other.
Yeah, right.
About what program to watch. So I sent them to their rooms, and I said, when either of you have a plan that you think will work, come out and tell the other person. If they agree, that'll be fine. So they did. My son, who is the youngest, came out and told them what he decided, that they'd take turns. And he was only 6.
Wow.
But they would take turns.
I think you did a good job with him. He seems like a very nice man.
Yeah. My daughter married a Canadian. She lives up in Canada.
Oh, boy.
She's done okay, too.
Good. Good. Grandchildren?
She has 2, I think.
2. You've got 2. 2? Did David have any children?
He has 1.
Do you have 3 grandchildren?
And
Yes, 3?
he has a grandchild, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
You think a woman can do both, have a family and a career at the same time?
well, I did.
Yeah.
Well, but I didn't really start till they were at school.
I see.
Because before they go to school, they need attention all the time.
Yeah, they do. Did you like being a mother?
Yeah, I enjoyed it, yeah. Yeah, I didn't feel like I would complain because of it at all. But as soon as they were old enough to go to school, I planned it I taught and arranged so I'd be home at 3 o'clock when they got out of school. So that worked out fine. So we had a good relationship.
Not everybody can do that. Work full time and raise children.
Well, I didn't start till they were going to school, so to third grade, I think.
And then they were going to, they were full time in school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them.
Anyway, it worked out fine.
Did you have many women colleagues who could do that? It was mostly men.
You did what?
raise children and work as professors, or was it mostly men when you were starting?
Mostly men, I
Yeah.
think, still is.
Yeah. How did they treat you? Did they treat you well, or did they give you a hard time?
Who?
The men, your colleagues.
They didn't give me a hard time.
Ah,
I mean, sometimes I, uh, I started in Washington, D.C., where my husband was working, whom I just married.
mm-hmm.
I got somehow got involved with some students and taught
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great time. I didn't believe that I wanted to believe, hey, I'm the power here and better listen to me kind of thing. But so many teachers operate that way.
That's right. That's
I
right.
never did.
Good for you.
The thoughts and feelings were very important to
Mm-hmm.
take into consideration. So I did that.
Good.
So I had good relationships with the students, and several of them still keep in touch with me.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. And I treated them. I had students that I allowed to grade themselves.
Oh, wow.
And I must say a lot gave themselves A's, and a few gave themselves B's.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were still some that gave themselves C's, but I think they were being quite honest because the way the classes run, they had a lot to enjoy.
Aw.
So they made a lot of it,
Mm-hmm.
Didn't seem out of place
Mm-hmm.
what they came up with.
Mm-hmm.
In
Good.
grading themselves.
Good. Good. Did you meet Jim Bugental?
What?
James Bugental. Was he there at that time? He was at UCLA for a while.
Bugental.
Bugental.
Sounds very familiar, but I can't think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Tom Greening?
I guess I've heard the name, but I don't know him at all.
He was also at UCLA, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I must have met him at some meetings.
You must have, yeah.
I used to give talks. I can't remember what on earth I talked about, but
But lots of people came.
well, they were tied to various associations. I talked about. I can't remember much about them.
Mm-hmm.
Never made any notes or anything. I keep thinking it would be worthwhile to have a book of my activities and how I felt, but I never did it. Are you doing that?
Yes, you'll be part of it with this interview.
I wished I had that, but I never did.
Well, it's easier to talk than it is to write, so we might as well talk. Did you do any writing?
Oh, I probably
Published?
did. In planning my discussions and so on, I wrote them down. I didn't just come into class. No papers or things. I always had something
Planned, organized.
and worked out.
Did you publish? Do you remember? Publish any papers?
Oh, I never thought of publishing anything.
Didn't you have to publish at the university?
Not that I can recall.
Good for them. Yeah.
I don't remember having to publish. I gave a lot of talks, speeches at various organizational meetings. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm. Anybody record any of these?
I don't remember anybody that was there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just enjoyed giving a talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it worked out very well.
Mm-hmm. I guess you were not shy, were you?
No, I can't say I was shy.
Yeah.
I was shy as a child.
Uh-huh.
I had to have help from my brother give me more oomph.
Yeah.
But anyway, he did and
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
helped me be more assertive. When I started college, I was much more assertive. High school was not my force in my life.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Waste of time in a lot of ways.
Uh-huh.
Going to college was very rich and meaningful to me.
Good. You know, that question to ask, if I were a student of yours now in psychology class, would you have any advice for me?
I don't know that I handed out any advice. Well, I meant,
Oh, good.
I'd say if somebody's trouble, I'd maybe find out and tell them how they might work at feeling better about what they're doing or whatever. Because I did that with high school students.
Just to support them mostly.
Yeah. And help them.
Ah. Do you think that's a difference between men and women? That women are more supportive, more nurturing?
I wouldn't be surprised at that.
Mm-hmm.
I think women, we often been bringing up children or whatever, want to feel with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that with our teaching too.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that a lot of women, instead of writing theory, are more interested in their students as human beings.
Well, they may be. I remember one of my last things, I was in my 90s, I think, and this student came to see me.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very upset because the teacher seemed to put him down all the time. So I encouraged him to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so he went to the class, and the teacher asked people to put their hands up to answer the question.
Mm-hmm.
And he put his hand up, and she called on him. And he answered the question. I don't know what the question was. And she said, "You're wrong."
Mm.
Then I brought him back to me.
Ah.
Said what to do about it.
Yeah.
He was wrong.
Yeah.
But I found then when I was working, teachers were very unknowledgeable about children's or students' feelings, and didn't pay any attention to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they still don't pay any attention to what's going on inside a student.
Good.
And I think it would be very important for them to recognize that that's an important factor if they want to keep on staying in education, getting more of it. They need to have a sense of being understood.
Yes.
A lot of teachers don't care.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I think the way teachers have been treated, I don't know enough about them now, but they never learn to understand, to have empathy with students didn't seem like their role at all.
Mm-hmm.
You should know this.
Yes.
That attitude.
Yes. Yes.
And empathy would help these students an awful lot. Some teachers did have empathy,
Yes.
and they were regarded as good teachers.
Mm-hmm.
They, a lot of them never thought of that,
Mm-hmm.
of how to relate to the student that's looking for help.
Mm-hmm. It's a tender age for students. They need a lot of help
Yeah,
at that age.
right.
Right?
Very tender.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they see teachers as having a lot of power,
Yeah, they do.
and so how they relate to that powerful person is
Mm-hmm.
very significant
Yes.
for them. And so when the teacher puts them down, they often do,
Mm-hmm.
they're seriously affected by it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I remember in a high school, teacher made me stay after school, punishment. So I went after school, and she says, I have a hard time with you. He said, you can do two things at once, and you seem to be able to do them well, so what I call on you, you answer right. That was her issue.
So she punished you for that.
Well, she sort of laughed.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We had a good time together after that. It was not really punishment. She just wanted to talk about my ability to do two things at once.
Oh, how funny. Oh, how yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, I have to say I enjoyed my education. I enjoyed being an educator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I can see that. I can see that. Do you think it's changed a lot since when you started?
Well, I haven't taught for so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard for me to say now what it's like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But there were a whole lot of teachers. I don't know whether I told you. I had a student who wouldn't go back to school. He said he didn't get treated right.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Teacher asks a question. He and several others put their hands up, and the teacher called on him. I think I told you this.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you're wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of saying, how did you come to that answer?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think teachers still do that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of figuring out through thinking in terms of empathy.
Were you interested in empathy as a psychological subject to
Yeah,
study?
very much so.
Did you study it and teach it?
I don't know about studying it. I think it's easy to understand. It's not that complicated. It's just ignored. That's the trouble.
Oh, there you go.
Just ignored.
Yeah. Yeah.
But having, to repeat often in their own words what the other person said, showing that you really paid attention to them.
Oh, you had them do this exercise?
Well, I never had the chance to.
Oh, to try it.
Didn't have a bunch of teachers to tell.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know that I ever did that, but I've done it around here on occasion, a
Mm-hmm.
couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
not very often.
So people can learn empathy, right?
Yeah,
We just didn't get a chance to learn it.
yeah. And feeling empathy for another person is
Mm-hmm.
very rich and meaningful feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I see, if it's okay to say this, on your chair you have you belong to peace
Yeah,
organizations.
that's because they have a peace organization
Here at
here.
the Red. I know, I know. I see everybody out on the street corners with
Yeah,
signs
every Friday
every
afternoon.
Friday. Yeah, yeah. Are you a member of that?
Oh, yeah.
Good, good.
I was much more active when I was younger.
Me too. Do you think that is this part of psychology to you, that we should be active in the world?
Oh, I never thought of it as
It's just, it was a
psychological.
whole
I
separate
never
thing.
labeled things like that.
Good,
I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
good, good.
You know, but I think when we have something we want to say or do, we should be comfortable with it if it's not destructive of others.
Did you get this from who? Where did you learn this from? Did your parents teach you in your family to have ethics, responsibility,
Do you have a what kind of response?
ethics?
Heavy
No,
response?
ethics.
Ethic.
Yeah, ethical family. Did you learn this
Well,
in your
my
family?
mother was very good at that. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she was a very significant person in her whole life. Significant for a lot of other people besides my brother and me and her husband.
I see that. Did she have a profession, or just she was a powerful personality?
She never got even through high school.
Wow.
Her father didn't believe women needed anything,
Yeah. Yeah.
but she insisted, and he said okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she managed to get through fourth year of high school,
Mm-hmm.
and then she met somebody who was the head of the school, I don't know, somebody anyway, who showed her some meaningful attention, and they got to be quite bosom pals, and, and helped my mother feel okay. And she became a very significant person in Canada.
Wow.
Influenced the whole of Canada.
Wow. In what way? What was her influence? What was her influence?
What was her influence?
Yeah. What did she contribute?
Oh, I don't know. She just did so much.
Good, all positive things, all good things.
Yeah, in terms of bringing things that were in America that she valued to Canada. And she did that
was
on her
American?
own.
She was American? Your mother?
No, Canadian.
Oh, she was Canadian too. Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in Canada.
Mhm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
and she did all kinds of things in exercising her knowledge and enough power to express it and help other people to understand it. And she was a real influence.
And she was supportive of your going to university and having
Oh,
a
yeah,
career?
very much
Good.
so. She never did get to university, but she could have. She was so bright, intelligent,
Yeah, yeah.
amazing person. I just saw an item somewhere, I don't know, but the Women's International Organization for Peace and Freedom.
Mm-hmm.
You know that?
Yes.
The person in the United States got the Nobel Prize for doing that.
Great.
but my mother brought it to Canada.
Wow.
That's the kind of person she was.
What was her name, Nora?
Alice
Alice
Alice Loeb, my
Loeb.
father's
Alice
name.
Loeb.
Before that, she was a Hazelwood.
Hazelwood?
Hazelwood.
Hazelwood.
And that family is very important in England.
Ah, Hazelwood.
And her father lived in England, and his mother died at his birth, and his father died when he was 8, I think, and his older brother put him in an orphanage.
Wow.
And so he grew up in an orphanage.
Wow.
And then he was released when he was 18,
Mm-hmm.
and he came to Canada, got a job being an engineer running the railroad.
Wow.
And he influenced my mother. He was the one that told her that she should
No education.
stick to the bedroom and the kitchen.
Yeah.
And she said she wanted more, and so she ended up getting more and managed to become a teacher.
Mm.
But then she met my father
Mm-hmm.
on a cruise through the Great Lakes or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my father hooked her down. So she got married to him.
Yeah.
Finally, that was the end. But she did so many things after she was married like that.
Mm-hmm.
What I just told you about.
Good for her.
She was a very rich in her activities, but she was still a good mother, I thought.
Well, you sound very close to her.
Yeah.
And she was
And
a big
she's-
influence on you.
She had so many meaningful skills.
Mm.
So she was good as a mother, but she also did a whole lot of political and other things in Canada.
Good for her.
So she, and she often she couldn't get the babysitter she wanted
Mm-hmm.
all the time, so she'd take my brother and me to the meetings. She would go. We would sit there. Don't remember any of them, but we managed to go and be comfortable with it.
Yes. I think that's important education.
Yeah.
See the world.
Anyway, we had a great mother.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You say you have a brother?
I had a brother. Yeah,
you had a brother, yeah. Younger.
Older than me.
Wow.
He died many years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I think he had cancer. Anyway, but he taught university.
What did he teach?
I guess psychology, more or less. No, sociology.
Sociology. Where did he live? Where did he live?
Well, he ended up living in Madison, Wisconsin, teaching there.
Was his name was not, was it Loeb?
Yeah.
That's where my sister's from. I'll ask if she knows him, or if she's heard of him, his name.
Oh, he died so many years ago.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised if they don't remember.
Yeah.
And he had 4 sons, and I must say, how he brought up those sons wasn't very effective.
Oh.
One of them is doing very well uh, in San Francisco
Mm-hmm.
in the field of social work,
Mm.
but the others all seem to be wild. I don't ever see them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I don't know much about them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The one I do see is named Peter, and occasionally we get together. Uh,
Peter Loeb.
he doesn't say much about his brothers
Uh-huh.
because they're not very worthwhile talking about, apparently.
I get that idea. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Nora, I think I'm
You're
probably
through.
getting.
I can't think of anything.
We can't
worth
think of anything else to say, huh? Yeah, me too. But I'll just say this to you, that although we started talking about psychology, which you love, but I think you love as much just talking about being a woman, and that women, should be independent and have careers, and that you
Right.
really believe in people having their freedom and respect, right? And empathy.
Yeah, I don't know where I got the idea of being a humanistic psychology. So as a psychologist, but I never thought of myself as being humanistic. I probably was, but it's not anything I labeled myself. But
Well, some of the things you say you believe in, like empathy
yeah,
and personal growth, I think that's pretty humanistic.
yeah, it's okay. I didn't call myself that.
Right, right. I understand that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I want to thank you. I'm going to turn this off now and say a proper thank you to you for your time.
Okay.
Anything you want to say goodbye?
I'll say goodbye to that.
There we go. It's just a phone. But people will be watching this.
Really?
I might show it this summer. American Psychological Association meeting is in San Francisco.
Oh, really?
I'm a fellow of Division 35, which is Psychology of Women,
Oh, really?
and they have an archive of women psychologists.
That's interesting.
So you want to say hello to them on the film? Anybody watch? Students should see. Students should know who's in the field, right?
They should know what?
Who's in the field, and we students, I believe, should see women as role models.
Oh.
Women psychology. You had a wonderful role model with your mother,
Yeah.
and lots of girls don't have, just like your mother didn't have support
Right.
to become what they really want to
But
become.
she kept on going.
She kept on going, but not everybody's that strong. So if I can show them good role models like you and other people, maybe that'll give them some support.
Okay. All right. You're great, I must say.
You like that idea?
Yeah, but you're so, broad in your perspective and so bright and